So a little rundown of how we will do this workshop is that our guest speaker will have her presentation, and then at the very end, we'll open the floor to any questions that she may have. So before we get into the actual content of today's presentation, I want to talk to you about the introduction of our recruiter today. And so today we have here Ms. Lynn Reyes, who is a certified HR professional who began her career in recruiting over 10 years ago. She holds a bachelor's degree in business HR and has held a leadership role for 6 years. Her area of expertise include recruitment and recruitment marketing, employee recognition, and performance management. She has recruited nationwide from entry level to C-suite positions in healthcare, hospitality, and technology industries. Lynn currently works at Lucid Hearing as a recruiting manager located in Fort Worth.
Welcome to Zoom.
Lucid Hearing
Enter your name
manufactures
ID,
hearing
followed by
health
pound.
devices from ear protection like earmuffs, supplements, drops, headsets for musicians, and hearing aids. And so thank you again, Ms. Reyes, for taking some time out of your evening to host this workshop with us. We appreciate it. And so without further ado, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you about creating a resume. Briefly, I was told that you just wanted a quick introduction of how to even do a resume since you're students, and mainly the request is from freshmen and sophomores. So on your biomedical engineering resume, just to let you know, it's again, it's like a marketing flyer that you're trying to present to yourself, to present to other companies. So you want to specify the ability to work well with a team and the enthusiasm and a passion for the industry itself. So you can just simply say, hey, I'm a biomedical engineer student at University of Houston, but why did you select that major, right? What's making you passionate about doing this, taking this path? Do you want to put that in your resume? And then also on the ability to work well with a team. A lot of people think, oh, well, it didn't, I worked at, say, Cane's Chicken, and that doesn't apply to becoming a biomedical engineer. But for a recruiter, it actually shows that you've had a job, but at the same time that you've been a student, so you can juggle multiple things. Because again, it's like a well-rounded student that they're looking for, not just somebody that's going to school full time, but then also has worked, has showed up on time, has references that they know that they've been there, and that they can also work well with the team, right? And then also your qualifications and experience and knowledge is, you'll be doing, some research and then getting into internships and things like that, right? So it's all about like first impressions as far as your resume. Saying that, you do not want to put your picture on your resume. There's even some sites that'll even suggest to do that, but don't do that for a lot of reasons. But you definitely don't want it a picture on your resume, and you want your resume to be as a simplistic format as possible, either Word or PDF. Because when it's fancy and having like 2 different columns and everything, it doesn't go through the applicant tracking system correctly. And so your nice, pretty resume comes out looking like garbage. It's just all sporadic and it's really hard to read. So, so here's like, an example, a brief example of your header. So you want, not only your name, but even though that you are a student, you don't have to put, that you're a biomedical engineering student, but what you want to be. So whatever job that you're applying to, so say that it's an internship, put that exact title right here. So then already in their mind, they can picture, Dorothy as a senior biomedical engineer intern or something like that. And then, of course, have your email, but then also needs your phone number too. And then just a quick thing about your phone number. I know you guys are really into texting and things like that, but when you are applying for internships, you really do need to have a greeting on your phone. There's so many times where I've called people and their voicemail greeting's not even set up, so I couldn't even leave a message, or they have it as a default. It's just really nice to just have, if you are going to put a greeting, to have it professional, right? And that goes for your email too, because there's some emails that are not very professional. And you want to have it your email. It doesn't have to be your school email, because the school email sometimes it blocks out outside companies. So you want to create your own Gmail account or something like that. And then notice how I have it highlighted here where it's like a LinkedIn. I'm going to talk more about that, about how you need to create your own LinkedIn profile, and then just city and state. And then a summary, you don't just simply say that you're a freshman or a sophomore at U of H. You want to actually have your little 30-second elevator speech right here, as far as what you are, what you're passionate about. This is where you can write about what got you into this field, why are you studying this, what do you want to do. That's on that. And then as far as the order, you want it in a reverse chronological order. So don't put the first thing that you worked at Chili's back in 2 years ago. You want to put what you're currently doing now. So especially since you are a student, you want to have that education up front. Even when you are not graduated, you can still put University of Houston biomedical engineer, major, expected graduate date, 2025 or something like that. And then, so you want to put that up front in your qualifications, and then write that clear, concise summary that we talked about, showing your passion, and then personalize it to that specific job that you're applying for. So this is an example right here, and I went ahead and put in these links. So if you just copy paste these links, it'll take you to where there's more examples. But this is the better example, because it has the company name here, and then off to the side it shows the date, and then it's aligned right here, and then the title of what you do, and then your job duties underneath. So you want to make it as easy as possible for the recruiter to look at your resume. The big tip here is to match your resume with the job posting. You have to remember that recruiters have a human resources background. They don't have a biomedical engineer background, right? I know that you'll be wanting to connect with recruiters in the engineering field, and they do know somewhat kind of knowledge, so they know what they're looking for. But what you want to do is you want to take your job posting of what you're applying for. So if it's like it's an internship, and then you want to match it to grabbing those key action words that you kind of see throughout that posting, and you want to add that same verbiage, even phrases, into your resume. You know, for it still to be true. I mean, you want to be truthful, but you want to have that same verbiage for a lot of things. One, it helps again with the recruiter of matching. That's exactly what they're searching for. And then also again with that applicant tracking system, it'll actually pull, like, out of 200 resumes, these were the top 25 because of those words that they're kind of looking for. And so if, say, there's a job posting and the responsibilities are ability to demonstrate strong analytical and quantitative skills, talking about leadership, talking about multiple projects, a self-starter, leadership, you can put that all in there. And don't forget to, again, for freshmen and sophomores, to put in like your volunteer time too. Like, I really love seeing, like, if I see a resume that's showing that they're an Eagle Scout, like, I'm going to be talking to that person, because that tells me a lot. That tells me that they've invested in themselves and are taking things seriously. And you already know about the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and what that all does. Or if you see a resume that says, you know, a black belt in karate, or things like that, because that shows that they've dedicated themselves and they actually have tenure. Because you know, they don't want to see that somebody tried this for a week and then they left it. So this is kind of where you can kind of show your leadership skills in your volunteer work and your hobbies and what you do. So just before we go into the LinkedIn, just as far as like the resume takeaways, and I sent this to Brendan too, so he can, you know, forward that to you, because it has all those links and such. But you want to keep it simple. You want to use either Word or PDF. Do not put your picture on your resume. Definitely add your LinkedIn profile link. And under your name, use the same title that the posting has that you're applying to. Reverse the chronological order. Use action words and results showing that you've improved cost and time somehow, because that's what it boils down to, is how are you going to improve the company time and cost. And again, compare your resume to the job posting with those keywords, and then keep all jobs on your resume, even if it doesn't apply to biomedical engineering, because again, it can show tenure, it can show leadership, it can show customer service, you know, and those types of jobs. So with that being said about the resume, I just feel like, I know that you wanted me just to talk about that, but I feel like it's really, really important to talk about networking and the importance of networking, because even though that we're a big world and we're doing everything as with technology as much as we can, still 80% of the time, you're going to get that job because of someone you know. I mean, flat out, it's someone you've got to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to network. And it's never too early to network. So as a college student, definitely your freshman year, you got to create your own LinkedIn profile, because that is still what they're using. That is what recruiters are using. If you do it in a great way, you will have recruiters calling you. So you want to set that up. And again, it's, you know, it's not too early to do that. I was gonna I'm going to show you really quick these just real quick about these two comparisons, right, of these two different LinkedIn. So here, she's in Houston, and she's a PhD student in biomedical engineering. So she has 58 connections. You really want to make it 500 to be premium, okay? And you want, this is a whole resource. When something like this, especially that's free, you want to use it to the maximum level as you can. So you not just the profile picture, but, and I like that she's smiling because you definitely have to have that smiling, but you have to have something here too. You know, and then it talks about her experience here. Again, use this as not your resume. This is another way of showing it in a different way. I have links that I'm sharing with you on how to do this at a deeper level, so you can have more time to figure that out. And then her education and her interests. Well, okay, so that's it for her, right? So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna compare, so that person to this person, and then you can tell the difference. So look at the difference here. So she's an honors biomedical engineering student as well, okay? She has something here, I mean, at least it's kind of eye-catching, but you really kind of want to put like your mantra or your mission or something like that here. But she has more connections. She's almost to that 500, but she needs to be the 500 because then you get other perks as well, and that's when the recruiters will start looking at you. And she uses all the real estate as far as, like, you know, this about page. This talks about, you know, why you are in what you're in. And really look at this, like, I feel like I know her somewhat, you know, and you're looking for personality too. So you want, like, the person to have the skills, but anybody would take, if two people are equal, but this other person has better people skills, better team working and showing things like that, they're going to hire that person. They will hire that person even if their skills are lower than this person. That's just the way it is, because you have to work with people and get along and stuff. And people, there's some hiring managers that are not very good at hiring. They'll really hire you based on, you know, if they like you or not. So, and then it talks about her experience and her education, but here it talks about her volunteer experience, right? That's great. And then her skills, she could add that. She could also add, there's like endorsements and how to get people to endorse you. Her accomplishments are on here, but get this. So this is very important right here. So you want to put your interest. So if you want to work at Johnson & Johnson, you better start following them and putting them on there. If you want to work at Stryker, you better, you know, put that, you know what I mean? You need to start networking with these people now and making yourselves known. So that's just a little difference between those. Sorry, that is my dog. But so the goal is, sorry, that's Stella. So the goal is again, connecting with 500 people to be at the premium level. And then first you start, who do you connect with? Who do you know? You don't want to just have your mom on there, right? So you want to connect first with your professors and then with other biomedical engineering students. Follow all your dream companies that you want to work for, but connect with recruiters from your dream companies, okay? And you do that by when you're on LinkedIn and you're I'm trying to say, so and you're following them, but you go to companies, and then after you have the companies, it'll show like all the people that work there that are on LinkedIn. And so you just connect with all the recruiters of where you want to work at. And then it's better to put a note on the invitation of when you want to connect, of just simply saying that you want to, connect with them, the same people in the biomedical engineer, field or something like that. But that's what's really important on that too. And I don't know if you have any questions, I'll try to use the chat thing. And then on the end is like my connection here. If you want to contact me, I just was gonna say too, feel free to reach out, and like you can even email me your resume, and I can tweak it for you, or give you kind of advice. So Lindsay, see, that is the key. What I'm talking about is like sharing your LinkedIn with people, right? Like when you're on these little webinars and stuff, just like, here, people, connect with me. Good job. Did you have any questions?
Okay, so if anyone has any questions, please feel to drop them in the chat, but I'll start off with our first question, which
I can
is,
hear you.
oh, that's great.
I called you. Oh.
Okay, so our first question is how to select which projects, experiences, and skills to put on a resume directed towards a specific company.
How to put which projects, experience, and skills on a resume directed at a specific company. Which projects or skills? Well, okay, so it goes back to really looking at that job posting and comparing what they have on that responsibility. So if they say something like they're looking for somebody that can multitask and they can, that are detailed oriented and can work in a team, then you need to, if those any kind of projects that you've done like that, then you add it to that. Wait, so it's okay to put the title of the job you're applying to under your name, even if you've never held a job like that before? Is that allowed? Yes. So, so you definitely want to do that. And again, guys, this is a marketing flyer of what you want to do, what you want to be, who you feel like you are, right? So say so right now, right, I'm a recruiting manager. Well, at ABC company, they don't call it a recruiting manager. They call it like talent acquisition manager or director of talent acquisition. Well, I'm not at a director level, but I'm definitely going to be putting that under my name if I want to go and apply for that position. Because again, it just grabs that person's attention and actually pictures you in that field. I hope that helps. Do you have any other questions?
Dorothy, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry. So Lynn, thank you so much for the tips. I've always had this problem. So when you go to career fair or a conference and you know you're going to meet a bunch of companies, how do you edit your resume so that it's like okay for, you know, because you don't have time at that point to tailor your resume per company because you don't really know who you're going to meet. How would you tailor your resume to fit a general employer list, so to say?
So at career fairs, what I would mainly do is, you know, so usually you have a list of what companies are going to come. So I would do my research before even going to that career fair of like, you know, what their mission is and who you want to go to. Because say there's 25 and you can only go to like 5 or 6 different tables. It's like, so you want to know, you want to prioritize which company you want to meet first because you want to get that face to face. What's important actually on the career fairs is not so much you handing them your piece of paper of your resume. It's actually connecting with that recruiter who's at the career fair, and you want to get their business card. You want to get their information. And then you're going to stand out because you are going to go and email that person and say, hey, it was so nice to meet you at such and such career fair. What I really love about your company is da 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 da. And then you've tailored your resume again towards that company. And even if they don't have a posting right then and there for you, somehow, like even on like your cover letter, put on there something about like my values really resonate with your company's values, specifically with obsessed to win or something like that, or excel in customer service, or tie in their mission statement somehow. So then it really shows that you are specific to that company, and you know, to that company, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
I will ask one more question if no one else has a question. Okay, then. Do you think if there's any specific soft skills that stand out to include on a resume?
Yeah. So, and guys, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say this like it's just a general statement with working with engineers, okay? Because so engineers are not known for their people skills. So you really need to show on there somehow, stop it, Wesley, somehow, some way about like how you connected with, how you can get along with people, and working in groups and in teams. So I think that's important, is showing the teamwork, you know, on there. If you can even like specify of like, you worked on this one project together, it was a team of 5 people, because it seems like 5 is the magic number. That is with me anyway. If you have 5, you've got some kind of slacker on your team and some kind of whatever. It's, you know, so it just shows that. Did that answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Sorry. But also I really want you guys to link in with me, and then because I do have a lot of people that I'm linked in with. So then if you see anybody that you want me to introduce you to, I'll be happy to do that. I am linked in with the recruiters at Stryker. You know, recruiters, they're people. I mean, like they will accept your invitation, you know, when you try to connect with them. And then when you do try to reach out, somehow looking at their profile and stuff to see where their interests are or anything like that, to where you have a commonality. that will also give you a connection, because it's difficult, right, when it's virtual, to have some kind of connection, trying to find some kind of connection with people.